right, y'all, school is back in full swing and we're actually on fall break right now, but we celebrate teachers all year round. So I want to show you exactly how to make this chalkboard themed cake. Follow on. To start my cake, I am just going to stack as usual and then crumb coat and get this cake in the refrigerator to chill. Moving on, I went ahead and had some buttercream side that I went ahead and dyed with some brown food coloring. I left it kind of marbly, and then with a piece of parchment paper, I just spread this out and stuck it in the freezer to chill. While that was chilling, I also went ahead and dyed my red buttercream and my green buttercream and went ahead and put those in my piping bags and stuck those in the refrigerator to chill too. My buttercream got a little soft, so I wanted to stick those in the fridge to harden up just a little bit before I used them. I have some sprinkles that I have previously mixed from another cake, but I want to go ahead and add some blue and red and yellow to this just to make those colors pop a little more. So I went ahead and mixed those and set that aside for decorating. And then next, I set out my black fondant just about an hour or two before I needed to roll it out. And then instead of kneading that in, I rolled it out to give it that texture on top. And then using a sharp knife, I just cut out the rectangle I needed for my chalkboard. Now that all of my decorations are ready to be used, I need to get my cake out of the refrigerator and ice it again. So I did my crumb coat before just to hold in all my crumbs, and now I'm going to do what would be my final coat of buttercream normally, but because this cake is white, I actually stuck it back in the fridge after and iced it one more time. You notice when I peel that parchment paper off of the back of my buttercream, we have that beautiful marbling, and this is what we're gonna see when we put it onto our cake for the bottom of our chalkboard. Let's put our chalkboard onto our cake just using a little bit of buttercream on the back and then placing our little wooden tray at the bottom quickly so it's not defrosted. Because we used buttercream for this little tray at the bottom, it's obviously gonna defrost quickly. So I got this onto my cake as quickly as possible and then stuck it back in the freezer to chill out so that then I can touch it up. Putting this in the fridge, that butter inside of my buttercream is gonna harden just like a stick of butter would, so it's gonna help a lot when decorating. Something I maybe didn't mention at the beginning of this video, but this is actually a cake I made back in 2019. It was one of the first cakes I kind of videoed just on my phone, not as fancy as this, but I used a little gold board. So you can see throughout this video, I have a gold board that I'm decorating this cake on, but that board is super flimsy. So I decided at this point that I needed to take it off of this board and get it on a nice sturdy board. So you also see me moving that to my new board. Using my red buttercream in my piping bag, I went ahead and piped 2 apples on either side of my chalkboard, and then I went ahead and added my leaves to the top. Finally, we made it to the top of my cake, to which I added just a big ruffly border with white buttercream, and then topped it off with the sprinkles we mixed earlier. For the last part of this cake, we just need to pipe onto our chalkboard. The way I do this is always practicing before I pipe onto my cake, especially when I'm doing letters or words or numbers. So in this case, I want to cut out or use something the size of my chalkboard. I happen to have a sticky note that was the exact size of my chalkboard, but if you don't have that, it's super easy just to cut out a piece of parchment paper or use a paper plate. And there we have our school-inspired chalkboard cake with just some fondant, some sprinkles of your choice, and a few piping bags. You have an adorable cake. But if you enjoyed learning exactly how to make this cake, make sure to like and subscribe and ring the bell so we can change the world one cake at a time.